What's up, Rangers? Welcome back to another Equestrian Trash. This might legitimately be the worst safety-related equestrian product that I have ever reviewed to date. Barrel racers are quite literally rubber banding their stirrups to their riding boots. This is so insane that every single English person that I've had conversations with about this actually was shocked that this is a real thing people are doing. But here we are, 2026, and people are getting dumber. Firstly, we have to talk about why barrel racers say that they need rubber bands. A, they believe that they ride really powerful horses. B, they feel like they are gonna lose their stirrups and don't want their stirrups to hit or knock over a pole or a barrel. And C, because, and get this, they say that they don't want to have to be worried about what their feet are doing or where their feet are when they're barrel racing. And the last one is definitely the dumbest and most egregious excuse, because you are quite literally admitting that you don't know how to ride if you're saying that you don't want to be worried about what your feet are doing when you're riding. You should always be aware of what your feet are doing, especially because a lot of barrel racers ride with spurs, and we all know that they don't know how to use spurs, because if you knew how to use spurs, you would realize that there's literally no reasonable explanation as to why you're using them barrel racing. So I just automatically know if you're riding with spurs barrel racing, I know that you know nothing about spurs and you do not know how to use them, and you are definitely just using them as a pain device to get your horse to run faster. Let's get that out of the way first. Personally, I believe the second excuse, which is that 99% of barrel racers rubber band their feet to their stirrups because they lose their stirrups on a regular basis. I'm willing to put money on it that that's why 99% of them, even the pros, rubber band their feet to their stirrups. And let me be so clear. If you're losing your stirrups, it's because you are off balance. Moreover, barrel racers want you to believe that this is not that big of a deal, that rubber banding their feet to their stirrups is not that big of a deal. The reason this is such a huge deal is because you are automatically losing your ability to emergency dismount when you are now connected to your horse. This increases your chances of being literally dragged. Now I know 99% of you barrel racers out there do not know how to do emergency dismounts and have not trained for that. And I have seen several videos over the last few weeks of riders, young riders, literally being dragged by their horses because the rubber bands won't break. And for anybody who wants to say it's not the rubber bands, it absolutely is. Even if it's the rubber band and the stirrup working together, they're both working together to create even more of a snag hazard than if it was just the stirrup alone. And this is what I'm calling the violent break paradox, where all of these barrel racers seem to believe that they're going to have a clean break every single time they fall off their horse, which is not true. And personally, I actually believe that rubber banding your feet to your stirrups is significantly more dangerous than riding without a helmet. And someone quite literally created a product specifically to tie your feet to your stirrups, and it's called Better Bands. And I came across this product because so many barrel racers were telling me it's actually perfectly safe that they rubber band their feet to their stirrups because they use better bands. And even in the name, Better Bands, making you think that it's a better way to strap your feet to your stirrups. However, before I get into this product unboxing, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about a product that really does work, and that is my Thermotex blanket. Thermotex did not pay me to say any of this to you. However, I did decide to become an affiliate after having this product for several months and realizing how well it worked for Link. As you guys know, Link is in recovery at the moment. He's been doing really, really well, but Link has been struggling with circulation issues around his stifle area, which has caused him to trip at faster gaits. This blanket, we use it for about 20 minutes before and after our riding sessions. And this blanket delivers far infrared penetrating heat waves deep into his muscle tissue, about 2.5 inches, which helps with circulation, recovery. I cannot recommend Thermotex products enough. And I just want to clarify really quick, far infrared therapy is not red light. After just 3 months of using this, Link is no longer tripping at the canter, so we've actually been able to get back into working towards collection in the canter, getting him off of his forehand and getting him really able to shift that weight back into his hindquarters. So a huge thank you to Thermotex. I love this product so much. It really is a staple in my everyday life. Can't recommend it enough. I will put that link in the description down below. Let's do a little unboxing. So I ordered 2 sets of these. I already tested out the other set, but this is the package that it came in, and it comes with 2 bands. These are marketed as reusable, which is very concerning to me, to be honest, and I will get into that in just 1 second. It was $20 for 2 of them, which I think is absolutely nuts. But I will say, I only ordered these a couple of days ago, so their shipping's pretty fast. The Better Band, made by a barrel racer for barrel racers. Oh. Safe, convenient, reliable, long-lasting, easy to use, and made in America. Like so many other barrel racers, I grew up exhausted of scrambling to find rubber bands right before an important run, whether it be them breaking as I tried to put them on or forgetting them altogether. That is why I created the Better Band, a hassle-free way to secure your feet every time. Oh. Wowie. And I love how in the advertised photo, she has the band literally strapped over the spur in the back. So again, an additional snag hazard there. And the stirrups not even in the correct spot on her foot. I mean, is this a thing? I actually want to know if barrel racers do not even know correct stirrup positioning, because every time I see a barrel racer, their stirrup's not in the correct spot. It's literally like back into the heel, like the back part of their foot. That's not the correct position for a stirrup. So no wonder you guys are always off balance. No wonder you need these. Clip the safety breakaway buckle to the bottom of the stirrup. Place Better Band around the toe and heel and tear up a barrel pattern. Ooh. Remove feet from Better Bands and leave attached to stirrups so they're ready to go for your next run. Ooh! Then they have a warning, so we'll read that in really tiny fine print. The Better Band is not a toy and should only be used by experienced riders in a manner consistent with its intended use. By using this product, the user assumes all risk of liability and agrees to hold D&L Equine Innovations, its owners, agents, and employees harmless from all claims or damages arising out of the use of Better Band. Something tells me that they did do product testing. I think the most concerning thing that I thought right out of the gate was that they want you to place the buckle on the bottom part of your stirrup, right? Well, the problem is like this band is ridiculously strong. So the first thing I thought was if you fall off and your foot comes out of the stirrup and it's attached to these bands, it's not going to break the buckle. The tension's going to be like this, where your foot's pulling directly down, or even like out and down. It's not breaking, you guys. See the problem? All of their ads where they're advertising this as like some safe breakaway product, they're pulling the buckle like this, and they're pulling the bands like this, right? To show, oh, it's a quick breakaway. That's not how it's going to be pulled when you fall off your horse. If you knew anything about physics, you would know that this buckle has to be under the correct amount of tension. You have to literally pull the buckle exactly the way that it's designed to be pulled on for the breakaway mechanism to work. And something tells me that they know that these don't break away easily. This is a real ad that they put out to advertise their product, and I'm literally crying because what even is this riding? What even are these shoes? Like, girl, why are barrel racers always the worst riders I've ever seen in my life? But also, to reiterate, I'm not saying the bands will never break. What I'm saying thing is that the pressure has to be applied to the correct area for it to break every single time. So you're really just rolling the dice on if you're going to apply the correct amount of pressure for these to break in the event of a serious fall. But like, girl, this writing is so bad and I can't believe that this is a real ad to advertise the product. Oh my God, I'm crying. This band that they've made is so stupidly strong. Here's us testing the actual strength of these bands. And they made them really, really strong because they're supposed to be reusable. They're marketed as being reusable. Now, guys, it's been 11 years since I barrel raced on Link. The last time I went to a barrel race, I think I was like 15. I think Link probably does have some fond memories because barrel racing for him was never like a stressful activity, and he never got beat or whipped or spurred or anything. So I think for him, it was more so just going out and having a good time again, which it was fun. I will say it was pretty fun to go do that. But I wanted to do low speed. I was actually just wanting to test this at a trot simply because Link, as you guys know, is in recovery. And I did not want to do this on Lalo in case something actually did happen. I don't want to be dragged. And Link is trained for emergency dismounts, and he will stop if I fall off. I think the last time I barrel raced him, he was 5. He's like, I think I'm going to ride him around normally first. Then I will put the rubber bands on and see how different the riding is. Okay, oh God. Well, as you can see, they are on. They are on my saddle. I need to pray before doing this. Look at him, he's like, what the hell? Okay, nicely done. Good boy. Okay, let's trot the barrel pattern first. This happened so long ago, I'd be shocked if he remembers how to do barrels because he hasn't barrel raced. Oh, he's speeding up. He's speeding up. Do you remember, buddy? Oh, man. Oh, yeah, he remembers. He definitely remembers. Okay. He's getting all excited. It feels weird to barrel race after, 13 years? I mean, I really felt fine. If he was going at a faster speed, it really wouldn't have made much of a difference to me, to be honest. I mean, I probably wouldn't have even had to hold on to the horn then. I think a lot of people, when they barrel race, I think by holding on to the horn and like leaning and shit with the horse, I think it actually throws them off balance. And like, you know, when you lean down like this, it puts your toes pointed at the ground. And I think that's why a lot of barrel racers lose their stirrups, is because they're like leaning and moving with the horse. And, you know, something they teach you in dressage is like, you don't want to lean with the horse. You want to stay upright at all times and stay balanced. But let me grab my bodyguard. I don't like the idea of strapping myself to the saddle. And I feel even more unnerved about it having just done a barrel pattern. All right, I'm sorry, Jan. Oh, God. Jan, I love you so much. Please don't kill me, please. I love you so much. Please don't kill me. I don't like that. I don't like how it's like stuck to my foot. Don't like that. Pulling my foot. It's kind of like pulling the stirrup. Yeah, it's pulling it more towards like the center of my foot. Okay, I'm just gonna trot because I feel like a little unsafe. Trot around. Link.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Link, slow down, slow down. Okay. Ooh. Trot. Good boy. I mean, it's in the center of my foot now. Do you see this? Do you see how it's like in the center of my foot? It's like off my foot. Do you see that? It's like my foot, it's in the center of my foot. I feel like if I were to lose my balance a little bit, I can't get that balance back because now my stirrup is off and I can't get the stirrup repositioned where it needs to go. And I started off banding it in the correct position. But it's like I can't get that position even now, every time I try to reposition it, it just gets wedged further in between my boot. And one thing I've noticed by being in dressage for the last 6 or 7 years is I'm constantly repositioning. So sometimes when you're riding, one little thing will get out of place, or you need to tweak one little thing when you're riding, or your horse takes a misstep, right? You're constantly doing these little micro readjustments. So when I was going around the pattern, every time I was just, not thinking and doing a little micro readjustment with my feet or my hands or whatever, it was pushing the stirrup farther and farther back anytime I released the slightest amount of pressure in the stirrup to readjust my foot. It was the most uncomfortable thing ever that I did not want to do a second run. I was going to try to do a second run at a canter, but I was so uncomfortable with it already. And I really did try my hardest to keep the stirrup on the ball of my foot. If anything, I feel like it actually caused me to worry more about my feet because I could not adjust my feet at any point. It just felt so unsafe. Additionally, because I was unable to even really dismount my horse, I did not want to try an emergency dismount. I just want to try getting off and seeing what the breakaway pressure is. Let me just try. I don't like that. When I did try to dismount my horse, I wanted to see how strong these were and how much pressure it was going to take to hold that fender on. And I have really heavy fenders, okay? And that thing was not coming off. Eventually, I just had to pull my feet out of the bands because Link started walking away. I didn't want to be dragged, but it was not going to come off. I feel like it adds an extra snag when your foot's trying to come out. I don't like the fact that I'm able to fully lift up my heavy ass fenders. I can lift this all the way up here, and this is a lot of pressure. Look, that's what it took to break it. That's a lot of pressure, dude. That's like 50 pounds or more of pressure. And then you got that on both of your feet. So final thoughts here. I felt like the barrel pattern with the bands on was worse than the barrel pattern without the bands. And I was actually going slower with the bands on than I was going without the bands. And there were multiple points where I lifted my foot in the stirrup to readjust, and it actually wedged the stirrup farther back into my heel. Every time I tried readjusting it, it just kept pushing the stirrup farther back into my heel. And I also don't like how much pressure you need to be able to get the rubber bands to unlock. I definitely would not consider them safe for sure. And I absolutely don't think that those would break if you had a young child that's maybe less than 100 pounds. I don't think they would break. I really don't. Or at least if they did, your kid would probably get dragged for quite a bit before they broke off. But I think the biggest thing, are these going to help you ride better? No. I really think that you're going to do better by just learning proper equitation. I don't trust them. I don't think they're safe. They made me feel really uncomfortable, and it was like a constant pulling on my stirrup. And that's certainly not going to make you run faster, and it's not going to make you balance better on a horse. So not only did the rubber bands push the stirrup into the incorrect position on my feet, but it also caused me to be off balance at multiple points. It caused me to be distracted from my riding, and it was just overall really unsafe unsafe feeling and really uncomfortable. I can't actually imagine why anybody likes these unless you really are just a bad rider, so you don't know the difference between proper riding and improper riding and how it's supposed to feel and look. But now I want to move into the misleading marketing of this product. Again, talking about the buckle placement and how you have to pull on the buckle the exact right way for it to actually disconnect appropriately. But another factor to that is the pressure distribution, the weight distribution. A lot of people think that when they fall off the side of a horse, that your weight is going to be evenly distributed to be able to pop the bands. That's not true. If half of your body is being dragged on the ground by a horse and then your feet are stuck in the stirrups and stuck on the band, then you have 3 areas where pressure is being distributed. You've got pressure being distributed on the ground. You've got pressure being distributed in the saddle. You've got pressure being distributed on the rubber bands. This is what makes these so dangerous. And something that I will show you guys a close-up on right here is that the buckle, the quick release, is actually open. You can see the mechanism inside. This can be jammed. And even if it wasn't open, it could still be jammed in here. You have environmental factors, and then you also have like dirt, dust, debris from your boots getting on and off of your stirrups. I mean, I only wore these once, and the ones that I used got really dirty after one time. So I can only imagine if you're using this on a regular basis, how much dirt, debris, and whatnot could get lodged in the buckle, which could also cause the buckle to jam and further be a snag hazard where it's not going to open. But again, I think the worst thing about better bands is the fact that you lose your ability to emergency dismount. You lose any sort of last minute control over how your body falls and hits the ground and your ability to have a safe dismount off your horse. So to finish, this is 1000% a balance related issue. And I stand by that. And I think if more barrel racers sat upright and didn't grab the horn and lean around the turns, they'd be losing their stirrups a lot less. And in addition to the fact that they ride with stirrups that are not placed properly on their feet. So again, another huge problem. So yeah, I mean, better bands are not better. I think they're absolute trash. And I think that these people just found a way to make a cheap, crappy product and sell it to individuals that don't know how to ride. This is 1000% because you guys don't know how to balance properly in the saddle. So please go and take real riding lessons. This is a huge safety issue. But I mean, hey, barrel racers aren't going to listen to me because they won't even listen when it comes to helmet safety. So in a sense, it's like there's no way to help them. There's no way to help these people. If you're dumb enough to use rubber bands, then you're probably someone dumb enough to not ride with a helmet, and there's just no helping you.